Welcome back to Shnayim Yomi. Finish it off now with Shvi'i, Parshas Noach Shvi'i. Now we said in the last video, and we're going to now get into it more specific, we now fast forward 1,656 years. Unbelievable, the Parshas. Start off like slow, then boom, skip 1,000, 2,000, boom. It's crazy generations. Now we're up to the Shvi'i. Vayikola Aretz Safa Echos Dvar Mechadim. The whole land, they had one language, they were all together and one unique idea. Now, what was this this one language that's talking about? It says Rashi, Lashon HaKodesh. Everybody spoke Lashon HaKodesh, what we'd modernly call Hebrew, but it's not. That's not Hebrew. It's not exactly the same thing, but certainly an offshoot of Lashon HaKodesh. And they said, let's build pillars. They said, wow, it's 1,656 years since the Mabul, and the world was, from the time the world was created until the Mabul, was 1,656 years. They said, well, it must be that the sky just falls down once every 1656. Let's build supports to make sure that it's going to stay, and that we want to show that we don't need Hashem. We could survive by ourselves. And they made a city, and then we make a name for ourselves, which is a little bit crazy. But okay, this is what happens when we get crazy. We get into power. We start behaving in such ways. And Hashem says, wow, what's going on over here? Let's see what's happening. Let me go and see, look what's happening. They're up to something over there, which is a lesson for Dayanim, for those who judges, to go and take a look and see what's going on. You're going to judge something, get into the situation, understand it, get clarity in it, and then you can have some sort of discussion about how you want to judge the case. But until then, back off, right? Okay. So he says, let's see what's going on. He comes and he sees what's going on, and he says, this is not the type of behavior that I'm looking for. So what does he do? He goes ahead and he changes the language. This is the famous kindergarten teaching that maybe you've learned as well. One of them asked for a hammer, the other one gave him a kiss, then the other one punched him, and then no one knew what's going on over there. They didn't understand the language anymore. They get scattered and thrown all over the place. And that's not exactly what we're looking for. But this is it. You're going to come fight against God. It's not going to end too well. And this is what occurs to them. Okay, then we go through all the generations that go from that time period all the way down until Avram Avinu. And we know that Avram Avinu, it's a big deal over there. We know that the Mishnah says in Pirkei Avos that there are 10 generations from Adam until Noach, and then from Noach until Avram. And Avram took the sky of everything and finally started making things and changing things a little. And the Jewish people start up from that idea over there, took responsibility and tried to teach people in the ways of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Noach also did. We see a lot of comparisons between Noach and Avram Avinu. Noach also, he built the ark, he built the Teva, but he didn't go out of his way to go ahead and at least Lashon HaZorah, didn't daven for them, but he didn't do as much as Avram Avinu did. Unbelievable. Avram Avinu, and we have the famous story of the Kivshan Aish. Rashi tells us the whole storyline about how Avram Avinu, he wouldn't accept idolatry of Avodah Zarah, so he goes ahead and he fights against that. Nimrod, they go ahead, are you in or you out? Because now we're going to throw you in a fire. He said, listen, it's up to you, whatever you're going to do, I'm just not doing Avodah Zarah. They throw him in the fire. He survives miraculously, amazing thing. Avram Avinu ends up going ahead and marrying Sarah Imenu, and that, my friends, ends Parshas Noach. Now we see an amazing thing over here from Avram Avinu. Avram Avinu, at that stage, we know that Hashem didn't speak to him until next Parsha, until Parshas Lech Lecha. He didn't actually speak with him. Yet he said like this, he said, what you're doing doesn't seem real, doesn't seem honest over here, doesn't seem right. And he's basically willing to say the following: I'm willing to die rather than to live my life as alive. You decide that you want to throw me into the fire, that's your choice. He didn't jump in the fire. If you want to throw me in, that's your choice to do such a thing. But he said, I'd rather die than to live my life as a lie. And then, my friends, maybe we have to ask ourselves that same question. Are we willing to die rather than to live our lives as a lie? Or would we rather live our lives as a lie rather than die, which in and of itself might actually be death? The choice is ours, my friends. Thank you so much, and join us next time on Shnayim Yomi.